Welcome to the David Pakman Show. As of today, we are 7 weeks from the 2024 presidential election. I am getting dozens of emails daily saying, David, the real truth of where this election is going is in the Pennsylvania polling, or it's in this bellwether county in North Carolina, or it's in the fact that there's a registration gap among women age 18 to 29 that favors Kamala Harris by 58 to 42. I want to take a step back from any individual detail and lay out three different scenarios for what could be forthcoming 7 weeks from now. Two reasons to do this, and I'll be completely transparent with you as to why I'm doing this. Number one, to show that there is very much no clear outcome yet in what we are to expect. And number two, to dissuade anybody who might be thinking about, I don't know if it's really important that I vote this time around, to disabuse people of that notion. I'm going to go through, this is sort of like in the old days. Remember when the David Pakman Show was seeking investors? This was back about 9 years ago. And we would develop these projections for what sort of business path could the show have. And we would have like a base case, and then we would have an optimistic case, and then we would have what I thought was the realistic case. And I would show these to investors, and I would say with my hat in my hand, please, sir, do you have any money for me? Okay, we're getting off track. But the point here is I'm going to lay out three cases for you, all of which are possible cases based in data. The first case is a this is going really well for Kamala Harris case, and Trump is on the verge of snapping and losing this thing. That's case number one. Case number two is going to be, despite the positive headlines for Kamala Harris, there are a lot of reasons to be optimistic if you are Donald Trump. And the third case is going to be what I guess we're going to call the it all depends on North Carolina case, which is an interesting kind of footnote to this entire thing. So let's start with the case that many of you I know are very attached to for good reason, which is that Trump is getting crushed by all of the latest polls post-debate, and he is essentially borderline going to be blown away. So a couple different headlines that I want to point to. Axios reports Harris soars to record 6-point lead over Trump in post-debate poll. This is, of course, national polling. This refers to the Morning Consult poll, which finds that a majority of likely voters, as well as 20% of Republicans, believe Kamala Harris won the debate. This has crystallized her lead over Trump. And with 11,000 U.S. voters surveyed after the debate, September 13 to 15, it is Harris 51 and Trump 45. If indeed Kamala Harris is able to secure more than 50% of the vote, that would be a very, very good sign for her. This is a record high level of support for Kamala Harris. We have another positive headline for Kamala Harris. New poll shows Harris surging in state thought to be safe for Donald Trump. This is talking about Iowa. Harris has narrowed Trump's lead to 4 points, just 47 to 43 in Iowa. Iowa is considered it's a throwaway red state. What I don't mean we don't care about Iowans. I mean, if you're a Democrat building a path to 270, you don't even consider Iowa. Harris has narrowed Trump's lead. This is a big reversal from the spring where it was Trump 50 and Joe Biden 32. Pollster J. Ann Seltzer says that a 4-point lead for Trump is certainly not comfortable. Iowa rarely a swing state. So this is all extraordinarily good news for Kamala Harris. If Iowa is even, not that she's going to win Iowa, but if Iowa is a state Trump has to defend, that's a very bad sign for the Republicans. We also have generic national numbers where we have seen Kamala Harris's lead grow by about 50% from 1.1 before the debate now to 1.7. And if you look at post-debate polls, Kamala Harris leading all but one of them. There's an Atlas Intel poll led by Trump, but otherwise it's Harris +4, +4, +4, +4, and +5 in post-debate polling. This is all extraordinarily good news for Kamala Harris. Now, what does she have to do on this basis between now and the election? Well, she has to keep up the pressure, force Trump to spend money in states he wouldn't normally have to defend. Oh, I also wanted to mention Nevada and Nevada, both Harris leading there. And we only have one post-debate poll. It's a Republican-leaning poll, and still Kamala Harris is leading by one. So, I don't know that the Nevada numbers necessarily play a huge role in our analysis right now. And if we look at the 538 forecast of who is expected to win, in 100 simulations using the current polling inputs, Kamala Harris wins 61 out of 100, whereas Trump wins 39 out of 100, with less than a 1% chance of no electoral college winner. And that is a forecast that has improved slightly for Kamala Harris over the last period of time. So this is a very optimistic case for Kamala Harris. It's a scenario that I desire. I would love it if this were the outcome, but it is not the only way to interpret the current data. So now, having looked at the great for Kamala scenario, let's talk about looking much better for Donald Trump. If you're still using a free email service, your emails are often being scanned and tracked even after you delete them. Companies use the data to know everything about you and show you ads, even your most personal communications. That's why I recommend you check out StartMail. Unlike free email services, our sponsor StartMail never scans or tracks your emails. It also blocks tracking pixels, which companies and hackers use to capture your IP address. And when you delete an email in StartMail, it is gone forever, keeping your information private. StartMail allows you to create unlimited email aliases, protecting your identity and reducing spam. This lets you use different email addresses for different purposes, like newsletters or shopping. Plus, StartMail lets you encrypt every email, even if the recipient doesn't use encryption. Switching is easy. You can migrate all your existing emails and contacts with just a few clicks. StartMail also offers a business plan with unlimited domains, advanced phishing protection, and shared aliases for seamless team collaboration. Go to startmail.com/Pakman to get 50% off your first year. That's about $2 a month for a personal plan, or about $3 a month for a business plan, plus get 25% off additional accounts for team members. The link is in the description.